So I turned around. There he was. He shot me in the chest. As I started to go down the mountain, I lost my footing, tripped over a few rocks, started skidding down the side of the mountain, and all I could do as I came to a stop was think, oh, I hope there isn't anything broken. I hope there isn't anything wrong. We're going to talk about it on today's podcast. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson. I'm a ballroom dance professional, a life coach, and a peak performance expert. I'm part of a group of motivated people who are dedicated to attaining emotional mastery and unlocking our full potential. We've realized life is a dance. The ups and downs can spin you out of your mind, but it's time to take back control. It's time to become a lifer. We don't believe others are responsible for how we feel. In fact, we don't believe anyone can make us feel anything. We are a new breed of overachievers. Emotional mastery is our journey, and unlocking our full potential is the key. Welcome to the journey. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today, and hope the intro caught your attention. After I got up from the fall, I started hobbling back to base, and a few of my teammates came and helped me up and dust me off. And as we walked back, everybody was concerned. Did you break something? Are you okay? And honestly, I was in a bit of shock at that point because I had fallen down this hill. I'm not sure if it was a mountain, but it was a hill at least. And there's that point when you're going down a hill when your feet start to slip and you start running a little faster. As I was going down the hill, I thought, oh gosh, I can make it. So I just started running a little faster, but the steepness of the hill just kind of got the best of me. At a certain point, my foot caught a rock, and I just totally curled up to my side and skidded head first down the hill on my left side. Got tons of scrapes all up my left side, and somehow tore up my arm a bit, and it was quite interesting, actually. But as I hobbled back over to the base, everybody else came back. In case you haven't figured it out yet, we were playing paintball this weekend with a group of us, and we were having a great time. We actually had played through the first round. That was the end of the second round because my team got worked. And we had a great time playing. But it's interesting because one little slip, and all of a sudden everything changed, and things happen like that. You get to a moment and things can change in an instant. And just like I said in the opening, all I could think about as I skidded to a stop was, gosh, don't let there be anything broken, don't let there be anything permanent in damage. But of course, everything has its consequences, and I've had a couple sore days since. But I think the important part here in the piece I wanted to bring up was something alluding to one of the podcast episodes we had a while back, and that's just the stories that we tell ourselves are huge, and one of the things I wanted to bring up about this was a little bit more about the backstory. When I signed up to go play paintball with the group, I remember asking my older kids, if they wanted to go. My son decided he wanted to go with us, and he was all game and super excited to go play. And so I was like, well, I'll go too then, just so that I can keep an eye on him, and the time I had gone before was pretty fun. So I decided, what the heck, I'll just take it easy, and I'll make sure not to hurt myself or do anything stupid, And I remember thinking that, in the lead up, even that morning right before we left, I just remember thinking, gosh, okay, just don't run around, just take it easy. Don't do anything stupid, and maybe just lead and be sort of the general in the background and let everybody do a little running around. And so I was doing that. I made a plan. I had decided what I was going to do and how I was going to handle the day and not be too rambunctious and running around. And it seemed like a smart plan, And so after I'd gotten hit, like I said, that one guy came up behind me and caught us off guard and got hit in the chest. And it was kind of stinging, If you haven't played paintball, they kind of sting a little bit when they hit you. And I was kind of distracted by that, but I was out, so I put my hands up and I started to walk away. I was going to go back to the base, and there was that hill, and it was a pretty steep hill going up. I just didn't think anything about it, but I was too busy thinking about the my chest stinging from that hit, and wasn't really paying attention to going downhill. So, next thing you know, I'm running down the hill full speed, and lost it. But here's the thing, the stories that we tell ourselves are so impactful. Here I was so concerned about it beforehand, and I didn't catch myself. I didn't catch myself thinking, gosh, don't get hurt. And of course, what does our brain think? Oh, it remembers the get hurt part. It didn't remember go out and stay safe and take care of your body and make good choices. It wasn't saying that. I remember thinking, don't get hurt. And sure enough, it found its way to me. And, as I was walking back over, I was in a lot of pain. My side was on fire because it felt like my whole side was scraped up. And I remember thinking to myself, like I half wanted to laugh, but I was in a lot of pain. So I half wanted to cry, but I half wanted to laugh at myself because, it very quickly came into my mind how stupid I was for thinking about not getting hurt and not managing my mental abilities, my mental and emotional intelligence at that point. So, it was kind of an interesting day, and as everybody came over, I was like, okay, well, I can control it now. I might be hurting or might be in pain, but I can control my emotions now. And so, everybody was asking, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, oh, I'm totally fine. It's all good. You guys go play the next round. And so I just kind of sat there, just trying to keep quiet and not allowing my emotional state to get the best of me. And, I did an okay job, and we all have to practice. We all have to work at these things. So I said I did an okay job because, as they went out to play, my second in command came over and was like, are you all right? Are you going to make it? Because I know what that looks like. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not okay. I'm afraid to take a look at what's under, because I was wearing long sleeves and camo gear and whatnot. And I was kind of worried to look at what was underneath and what had happened. So, and so I was like, that's okay. I'm just going to walk back to the car, walk down the mountain. Now, this was a mountain that we climbed up to go up into this area. And it was a seriously painful walk back. But I got to the car. And of course, there's that moment that you kind of like, okay, I'm going to take that shirt off and take a look at my arm. And my arm was bleeding and, I had all sorts of scrapes and stuff. And I was like, okay, but that's not the one that hurts. My hip and my side was hurting. And so I kind of peeked inside there on the inside of my camo pants on my hip. And it was all scraped up and all bloody. And I thought, this is hilarious. This is hilarious because I kind of felt like, in a way, I'd done it to myself, because I had thought the thought and didn't manage it, didn't go back and redo it in my mind about making my mind and my body get in line with staying safe and being intelligent about what I was doing out there, playing paintball in the mountains. So many people, bad things happen, or whatever. You can call them bad, good, things happen. And we assign them meaning. And in many instances, we assign that meaning and we point out to the rest of the world. And, it's crazy when you start to understand these concepts about giving meaning to situation and about the law of attraction and how you pull things to yourself. It's kind of crazy to think that I did that to myself. Somehow, somewhere along the way, I lost mental control to stay focused on the thing that was important. And instead, I allowed this other direction of thinking to sort of take over. And I got hurt. And really, there was nobody else to blame. It was all me. And that's a little hard to stomach sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to take the fact that you did it to yourself, that you are the one that was responsible. And as I turned on the AC in my car, I figured they're going to play another game up there and I'd have a good half hour to an hour to rest. And sure enough, just as the universe does, I got a little more irony to end my day. I hear a whole bunch of cars. So I sit up because I was kind of laying back in my car. I sit up and I look over, and an ambulance drives up, and right behind it is a fire truck, and then like 4 other police cars. Well, at the bottom of the hill where we parked our cars, there were a whole bunch of houses, and apparently there was some emergency. But for a second, I thought all the kids were, that I was hanging out with, all the people I was playing paintball with, were being funny and sarcastic and sending the ambulance to check on me. But anyway, that was a funny way to end the day. But listen, guys, what you focus on, you get. And I don't know that I've said this a ton in this podcast, but what you focus on, you get. And it's not about good, and it's not about bad, and it's not about any of these things, but there's so many indications and things that lead us to understand that what you focus on, you get. And so be careful with the stories you're telling yourself. Be careful what you focus on. If you catch yourself thinking, hey, I don't want to get hurt doing that, you got to go back and pause for a second, change your language, and think about how you're going to keep yourself safe, not about how you don't want to get hurt. There's little things like that make a difference. Now, luckily, I came out with some bruises, some scrapes. I who knows, what's going on with my body hurts a little bit. But you know what? I came out unscathed for the most part. And I'll be fine in a few days. And it was a quick little reminder that my mind is powerful, and your mind is powerful too. So take a little bit of time to look at your language, and remember, whatever you focus on, you get. And we'll see you at the next podcast. Hey, the book is coming out soon. We're in the final stages right now. I know we say that a lot, but right now we're waiting for just the final edits and get it off to print, and we'll be able to get it out to you guys soon. So we're excited to present it to you. Hope you guys are excited to get it. You're going to want to make sure you get on the waiting list to get the first run, because we'll let you know. So go to everyminutebook.com and get signed up so you can be one of the first to get the new book. Anyway, we appreciate you. Thanks for listening today, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Take care. Want more magic for life? If so, then reserve your copy of my new book. Get your copy at everyminutebook.com. Inside this book, you'll find the secrets to attaining the next level of performance in anything you do. Learn the secrets behind emotional mastery that'll start you on your new journey of being a lifer. Whether you're an athlete, a business professional, or an artist, this book will change your life forever. Get your copy reserved today.